Hey, I was wondering if everybody over there can come over here, because this is an interactive just a portion of it, because you guys are going to have to be interactive on here. Because this portion, what we're going to do is try to connect you by industry, so when you go back, at least you know somebody in the room that might be. So there's a Gaelic saying called Sali Meral Fada, 100,000 welcomes. So it's a Gaelic term that is used very often to greet people in Ireland and Gaelic countries, Scotland, the 7 Gaelic nations. There are over 100,000 RPI alumni in over 130 countries. I don't think people realize the global span network, so there's at least one alumni per welcome. So welcome, thank you for coming. What I want to do is give a message from the president. The president of the RPI Alumni Association is Kareem Mohammed. He basically came to Hartford, and the message of the alumni is basically to invest, connect, and grow. That's the message from the president. So Eric mentioned about alumni. You're either here because 4 reasons. You're a student, alumni, work with alumni, or you just like crashing happy hours, which is okay. So there's a great crowd, a lot of people here. And what I'm going to do tonight is sort of what we have is 3 organizations. And I'm going to explain in terms of 2 things. This is a Maasai African walking stick. My wife got this. This is my wife's stick. It's her gift. My daughter's in the room. One of her jobs is to get this back. Because if I do not get this back, I am going to be killed. And this is a shamrock. And it will hopefully make sense. So there are 3 organizations being represented. RPI Troy, RPI Hartford, RPI Alumni. Whether you go from Troy, Hartford, you become an alumni. And once an alumni, you're part of the family. So this is a big event for us because we're going to learn RPI Hartford. How many people RPI Hartford in the room? Look at that. A lot of talent in this room. Our networks are what give us scope and also allow us to connect globally. Very, very important. So what I want to do without further ado, and this is why I had you, is to introduce our board industries, and I want you to raise your hand, because this isn't like a show, this is an interactive time, because at the end of this, there's an ask. The ask is going to be, how can you help the RPI family? I'm telling you to ask, I'm going to do it twice. It's not a sales pitch, you're not going to hear it 7 times, but here, that is the ask. So, without further ado, our Vice President, Greg White, can you please stand up? E2 Media, who's in media? Communications, IT, okay? Got a couple there. All right, Darren Stiles, our treasurer, the Hartford. Who's at insurance? Anyone work for the Hartford? Anyone in insurance? This is the insurance capital of the world. It is not possible to have this many people in the room. All right, just 2? Holy cow. I think the insurance industry is in trouble. Because if you've got this many people and you have 2, all right, John Molinaro, Pfizer. And also IT Solutions, pharmaceutical. Anybody in pharmaceutical, anybody want Pfizer dollars? Because that's what we call it nowadays. Okay, so there you go, Pfizer dollars, we got that. All right, Laurel Dean, Cigna. We already figured out there's only 2 insurance people who had admitted that they're in the insurance industry, but Laurel's a very important person. She's Cigna, red and white, and part of our new leadership team next year. Also, we have students here. I know there's a couple of students, so if you're in RPI Troy, please connect with Laurel. Laurel knows that some of the students are here. As the president of Red and White, that was a student body organization, which the people that are Rensselaer, how many alumni from Troy? Can you raise your hands? You all know what Red and White is. So, she was the president, and if you own a company, I would hire her, because she's the most talented, one of the most talented people we know. So, the next one is Mark Left. Raise your hand. Mark is the senior RPI board. He's been on the board for almost 40 years. I've been on the board for about 10. He's an entrepreneur in aerospace. Anybody in those spaces? And food industry. Anyone? All right, couple. So there you go. Carol Turner couldn't make it. Jonah Gerken, excuse me. Jonah? All right. So Jonna is Pratt & Whitney. We have the distinction of having the 2018 President of Society of Women Engineers. That is a very big title. Only 4 RPI alumni have held that. So does anyone know an engineer that's female or is in RPI? That is a person you want to connect with, because for minority hiring, for especially for women engineers, there's not many to begin with. And guess what? She knows where they're all at. So if you're not talking to her and you have that need, please, she knows that some people may be coming up. And then the last is, Dave Hodder. Dave's on our board. He's an executive for manufacturing aerospace. He's vice president of business development. And then Dave Fox. Can you please stand up, Dave? Dave, we have to give him a round of applause because Counter Colbert his firm is sponsoring us. Paul Levin?
Yes, sir.
Sitting right next to him. He's a lawyer, they're both in there, and Paul is a friend of the chapter. And basically, anyone in law, judicial, there's a couple people, a couple lawyers here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna tell one quick story. This is a Masai walking stick. We got this, I took my wife to Kenya on safari. And we had a sundowner, and in front of us was the Mara in Kenya, and behind us was Mount Kilimanjaro. So the only problem for this great adventure is we had to go through the bush, a 40-minute, we had Maasai warriors in front of us and back of us, protecting us from lions and elephants, more elephants. So we get to a tree, and the guy explains to us the symbiotic relationship between an ant, a giraffe, a tree, and the Maasai people. And he says, John, we teach our warriors when they're young to protect the ant because the ant protects us. They not only keep us alive, they also allow us to thrive. I never forgot that story. I always love that story because when I look at 3 organizations connected the way we are tonight, it's always about the people. And the Maasai people are warrior, they're pastoral, and basically they've survived in the Mara with all the wilderness and thrived for centuries. Now, how many Irish people in the room? I know we got at least 10%. I brought 4. So, all right. If you were going to explain 3-in-1, I know everybody knows what this is, because there's no one from Irish descent that does not have a shamrock in their house. Is that accurate? Because if you don't have a shamrock, you might not really have Irish descent, because this is what we are. So St. Patrick used 3-in-1 to describe the Trinity as Father, Son, Holy Spirit. So everyone, 3-in-1. So my charge tonight is one of our organizations, Rensselaer, Hartford, we're going to learn exciting things happening. We gave you a couple of things right now. We're going to mingle again. Eric's going to come up, give a presentation about exciting things happening. And then the ask is going to be to help the RPI family. Have a good time. Now you know someone. Find somebody you never met and say hello. Thank you.